All right, what's up, y'all? Welcome to the Wrestling Hypothesis podcast, where we break the hype, expose the truth, and speak for fans who sees the business as it really is today. Because if you ain't talking, I ain't watching. I'm your boy Ricardo, as well as my main man Kenny. How you doing today, man?
I'm good, bro. I'm good, bro. Long week, very, very
Hmm.
long week, but
I feel you.
happy to be here. Happy to be back full time, doing what we do best.
Awesome. I like that crown emoji like you did for my man LeBron James. You're a big LeBron James fan. I completely commend to you.
You can't even look at you. Sorry ass
I
LeBron.
had to I had to put that in there,
Y'all
man.
make me
I couldn't help it.
y'all
But
make me sick.
but anyway, we have an interesting episode to talk about based off news based off John Cena, based on his upcoming retirement that will take place on December 13th, very, very soon. And obviously, a very, very specific question based off Triple H about him either being a genius or a matter manipulator based on the current roster he is right now. But we talk about with John Cena as of right now. Now, quite recently, he's had a very interesting interview regarding his retirement with Bill Simmons on his podcast just the other day. John Cena admitted that he wanted to do a full year retirement tour, a full calendar year. And he was actually getting ready to do at least 200 dates within the calendar year of 2025, but WWE only wanted him to do a matter of 36 dates, right? So based off news that we got on that, and then some based off his interview that he had with Bill Simmons, do you think that WWE ruined John Cena's retirement by giving instead of him giving him a proper long-term retirement tour? Kenny, what'd you think, man?
Okay. So I'm in that boat of people that believe that this run or his heel run wasn't necessarily a failure. So, and I know I'm in the minority here when I say this too. The answer is no. I don't think they ruined his retirement run just based off the fact that they didn't give him, 220 dates to work rather than the 36 they agreed upon giving him. So there's two layers to this, right? You have to factor in the fact that one, the WWE isn't that type of company anymore, right? LA Knight is the most active wrestler, of 2020 of 2025. Do you know how
Yes,
many matches LA Knight has wrestled?
over 200.
No,
Is it more?
less. Try again.
Wow.
I'll give you one more. I'll give you one more shot. Try again.
Is it less than 100?
Yes.
I
Yeah.
see what you mean.
LA Knight has wrestled 70 matches. Well, over 70 matches now, counting tonight where he lost against Gunther, right? But LA Knight is the most active wrestler in 2025, and he wrestled 70 matches compared to the time where back in the day when they used to wrestle over 300, when the most active wrestler would wrestle 300 matches a year, right? Well over that. It's not those days anymore.
Yes, we
So,
agree.
so the reason why the heel turn, right, wasn't as successful as it should have been isn't because Cena wrestled 36 dates. Okay, I think that's or isn't because Cena appeared, had 36 appearances. It's not because of that. It's because, and I'm not gonna let the WWE creative team get away with this, right? Because I feel like that's the easy way out, right? To point to the creative, or I'm sorry, the decision makers, and say, oh, it's because of that. That's the reason why Cena and this run was bad, because they didn't give him enough dates to work. They didn't flesh out the heel character. They didn't flesh out the storyline. So, and maybe all of those are good points, right? And I'm not saying they're not good points. I'm simply saying that's the easy way out. You cannot tell me legitimately that if they were able to get a good storyline in, right, for maybe about 5 appearances, you cannot tell me that would be an impossible thing to do, because we've seen it before, right? So out of all of this thing that came out in that interview, you can say, yeah, if he had 59 dates, if he had 60 dates, right? If he had right, if he had more time, then we could have gotten more. But guess what? the outcome is still the same. Whatever happened with Rock would have still happened.
I don't know about that.
Yes, it would have still happened because The Rock. Okay, you got to realize this for a second. The Rock not being there has nothing to do with Cena having 36.
We agree there.
It had to do with the fact that he didn't get what he wanted creatively, which is for Cody to turn heel. So if Cena had 59 dates, still would have been out because Rock wouldn't have got what he wanted. We are still in the same position we are in today.
Well, here's where I gotta disagree with you. So WWE gave him 36 days to work with because they view WWE. I mean, they view WWE. They view John Cena in their eyes because it's under the stewardship of TKO as a money grab. So the fact that like Cena himself was actually ready to actually do 200 dates. Now this is where I would say John Cena, like, I'm not gonna say messed up, quote unquote, but this is what he didn't realize because the fact that they said he was ready to do over 200 dates to get like an actual year-long retirement, similar to like a Ric Flair, similar to like a Shawn Michaels, similar to like a Undertaker, and that type of aspect. He wanted that type of retirement run. But I feel like he didn't really understand in terms of the aspect of today, like fully aspect in terms of being there for a full calendar year of the way things run down in TKO. So that's only the reason I said that. But in terms of
Hold up, but how did he mess up?
no, I didn't know. He didn't. I believe he messed up due to the fact that he didn't really grasp the full entity of TKO the way it is right now compared to was back then. Because like I said, the names that you brought up, they actually got a full year calendar retirement run. Shawn Michaels, Taker, and Ric Flair.
Yeah, but those weren't retirement runs.
For Ric Flair got a retirement run, a full calendar year.
That wasn't a retirement run. He came back.
So as an active wrestler.
Correct.
As an active, that's all I'm talking about.
He came back as an active wrestler.
Only in WWE. We're not talking about the other companies. Only in WWE. Ever since that time, he never wrestled in WWE ever again.
So I just want you to know that wrestling, no one has ever retired from wrestling. Like, realistically speaking, we can't just skip past that, Ric Flair shit like it didn't happen. Okay?
No, I understand that. I'm only talking about WWE. What he did after that, I completely agree with you.
Okay, so Ric Flair didn't retire.
Okay, fine, whatever. Right?
Okay.
Whatever.
Okay.
All right, but going back to John Cena, I believe if he actually stayed in the WWE, and I'm not going to say 200 days because I think that's a big ask, even at his age 50. I would say about, like, cut that in half. If you cut that in half, like, let's say like a good 60-80, I think he'll be cool. I think he'll be good with like a 60-80 night. I think it would have changed the year that WWE had in its entirety, and his retirement run would have been better due to the fact that he would have been more available. Okay, so basically, if you start from point A to point B, January till today, a legitimate argument can be made that like the ticket sales and the fan aspect in terms of WWE would not be as bad if he was there in the full calendar year for 60 to 80 days. No, I'm talking about if John Cena was the marquee on a consistent basis between a matter of 60 to 80 dates in the WWE. I think the fans would actually pay because
they'll pay, but the prices will still be the prices will still be very high.
Yeah, but guess what? John Cena is worth it because he's the main event picture. Because they did, and that's all I'm talking about.
Sure, I mean that goes without saying.
Yeah, that's all I'm talking about. He still
sells out. Yeah, he still sells out.
Yeah. So from a money grab standpoint, that's a check mark right there. John Cena would be the main focus on a consistent basis throughout the whole year of 2025. We're not looking at Jey Uso. We're not questioning Cody Rhodes as a WWE champion to some degree. Better talent will be much more better in terms of because it will be surrounding around John Cena throughout that whole year of this year if he had more dates in his repertoire in 2025. And I also believe that if John Cena was here for more dates, I believe a lot more people would have been better used throughout the year of 2025 instead of just by sitting around and catering or just chilling at home.
Like who?
After they deal with Randy Orton, I don't know what they're doing with Randy Orton right now. The last time I saw Randy Orton was with
so that's a moot point.
John Cena did face Randy Orton.
Huh?
John Cena did face Randy Orton.
Yeah. He faced him.
That's what I'm saying.
But
I'm saying
Randy.
No, I'm saying after what I'm saying is after the superstars he would have been that he used with John Cena, we would have seen them after John Cena. But ever since then, we didn't.
Yeah, but that's not a John Cena issue though. That's not a John Cena issue though. The reason why Randy is not on TV is not a John Cena issue. The reason why R-Truth is not on TV is not a John Cena issue. The reason why Cody's championship reign is shit It's not a John Cena issue.
But-
It's not because Cena had 36 dates, and that's why the heel run is. I'm sorry. It's why a lot of these superstars are struggling.
But what I'm saying is that like if John Cena was here for more dates, more than just 36, like between 60 and 80 dates, I feel like WWE as a whole would be better.
Okay.
Because if he was there after, like I said, 60 dates, I believe the product would be better, and actually it would have usurped after what they did with Roman for the past 4 years.
Listen, Cody, Punk, Rollins, right, and Division.
Roman Reigns.
What else we got?
Roman Reigns.
No.
You talking about today?
Roman, right?
LA Knight.
LA,
So-so.
Jey Uso,
Drew.
right?
Logan Paul.
And to a lesser, Logan, and to a lesser degree, Kevin Owens.
Okay.
Not a part of this year, right? Before he went down with his neck injury. Those 9 guys or that one faction that I mentioned in the video.
Yeah.
All of those things are relevant, right? And those are things that are going on like throughout this year that do not include John Cena. Right? Even though some of these guys had a run-in with Cena, right?
Yes.
For the better part of the year, they didn't have a run-in with Cena, right? Like CM Punk probably wrestled Cena, once?
Yeah. It was all of it was one time.
Right. All of them was one time. It's with the exception of Cody, right?
Yeah.
My thing is, are you telling me that less is more? Because essentially what we got with Cena was we knew these dates were going to count. We knew that every single appearance he had was a historic night for wherever he went. So I'm not saying, right, that if we got 60 dates, right? Think about it. If we got 60 dates, essentially we would have had to at least go to at the very least 2 states twice, or at least 1 state twice. You would have had to visit maybe. The likelihood of that happening is very high.
It could have happened, yes.
So, and these appearances matter in the grand scheme of things, because essentially what happens is that every single state that he went to was literally an attraction, right? That was the last time that he was going to grace them with his presence. Hence why the tickets were as high as they were.
Rightfully so.
If you had 60 dates, you would not be able to charge as much as you possibly could.
I think they would have.
No, you wouldn't. Because, like I said, okay, think about this, Ricardo. Raw is coming, right? And this is a perfect scenario. Raw is coming through next year to New York City 4 times, right? 4 times. You can either see them in each of the, seasons they are here. Either in the winter, either in the fall, either in the spring, or either in the summer, okay? The average ticket price will be $1,000. Are you going?
Yeah.
The average ticket price.
Yeah.
For Monday Night Raw will be over $1,000.
Yes.
In each season you're going.
Yes. Because it's like what I said before, they used John Cena as a money grab, and it worked. So if they added more dates from TKA standpoint, they would do that.
Ricardo, the only reason why it worked was because he was appearing only one time. One time. One time. If it was in this scenario that I just gave you, he's appearing 4 times. 4 times in that year. You paying $1,000 each time to go see him?
A lot of people would. Honestly, they would. I'm telling you, they would. Because
Ricardo,
if a person is able to pay X amount of dollars to see John Cena, and even if they miss one show and they see the main 3 show, they'll pay whatever amount of money they pay.
You just said it. You just said it. Even if they miss 1 show, they're missing more shows. They're missing 3 shows at least, and then going to see his last one, or they go to see the first one and then leave the other show. You're going to see him at least once. You're not going to see. You maybe, if you're fucking rich and loaded, you'll see him twice. You're not seeing Cena 4 times a year in New York City on his last run. You ain't doing that. The reason why it worked for 36 dates was because he was appearing once for 1 more time at that state, at that city, in that arena. And if you live in that area, you can only see him that 1 time, and that was it.
You're saying overall the less dates the better was
yes, less is more in this case, because the less appearances they literally had with him, the more money they got to charge. Because guess what? Why have 4 appearances, right? Think about it, Ricardo. Think about it logically as business. Why go to New York City, pay New York City, right, for an event, for a WWE event, pay Madison Square Garden, right? Why do all of that 4 separate times when you can just come in, right? Since the average ticket price is $1,000 in New York City one time and charge $8,000.
Because you get more bang. If you did that, you get more bang for your buck for one time route versus the 4.
Exactly. And that's what they did. And that's what they did.
So let me ask you a question just to end this off. So if they added, let's go to the halfway mark, 60, right? If they went the 60 nights of him showing up rather than 30 or to 36 nights, you don't think they would still raise the prices?
They will not. They wouldn't be able to raise the prices as high as they possibly could. You have to realize that when you're saying, like, one of the greatest superstars of all time is retiring.
Yes.
You only get to see him once in each city you're going. If each city gets to see him 4 times a year, you're going to miss a whole bunch of shows. You're not going to see Cena 4 times a year in New York City when the ticket prices are that high. You're just not going to do it. You're not. But if it's one time, just once, that's the only time you can see him. Bet your ass you're going to try to get your hands on a ticket.
Okay, so do you think if they did the 60 night mark for John Cena, do you believe every night will sell out based on the current way how they produce their money today? I mean,
No.
their ticket sales today.
No.
So you believe if John Cena was there for 60 nights, they would not sell out
They will not sell out every arena. No. No. At the price. You're talking about at the price point.
Yes.
You have it? No. You're not selling out every arena.
Got you.
Because right now they're not selling out every arena. Anyway, the only time they're selling out arenas is when Cena shows up. And if Cena doesn't show up, the only time they're selling out arenas is when
if Roman shows up. Yeah.
That's it.
Okay.
So if Roman was there regularly, I'm not saying they won't sell more tickets, but they still won't sell out because at the price point that you're meeting me with the quality of the show that you're giving me,
it doesn't match.
It doesn't it doesn't match up. And let's talk about the 60 days. What has Triple H and the whole creative crew actually done to make you feel like you can handle this shit for 60 days?
Well, that's actually a great segment to go into our next topic in terms of Triple H, due to the fact that a lot of people, like myself included, has questioned this man since this year started, because we knew the John Cena's retirement would factor the whole year of 2025, and we factored in Triple H's genius in terms of how he does creative throughout the whole year to see how he would handle it, because we both know his peak was WrestleMania 40. When he did WrestleMania 40, that was chef's kiss. He has arguably made WrestleMania 40 the greatest WrestleMania of all time, and which I think it is, right? But as months, weeks, and as of this year went by, we both know he didn't do a really good job. He actually did a terrible job. He nosedived. But what I would say is that, like, we can't think of one year usurped, I would say, the last 2.5 years. I would say 2.5 because obviously it was in the middle of 2022. So I'll say 2.5 years, right? In terms of Triple H, we gotta see if we view him as fans as either a genius or manipulator. As of right now, despite he did a bad job this year, in which I can't disagree that he did a bad job this year, I gotta admit that I still view him as a genius at this point, because he did these things ever since he took over creative. He revived the WWE after the Vince era. See, COVID. He elevated Gunther, the Judgment Day, LA Knight, Drew McIntyre, the women's division in terms of specifically Bianca Belair, Rhea Ripley, just to name a few. He made long-term storytelling matter and made it feel very, very important within the WWE landscape. He made big matches in past and to some degree this year truly skyrocket ever since his days in NXT Black and Gold. He's also made a lot of in-ring classics throughout the tenure of past and to some degree this year. Not entirely, because I don't believe every people who's doing creative have a great year from top to bottom, right? But just to end it right here, Triple H just did more good than he's done harm throughout the tenure he's done in creatively for WWE, because he's turned WWE from sports entertainment into going back into pro wrestling compared to what Vince did in the past. I'm done.
I can't believe you just said that.
I did. I can't believe it either. I
I can't believe you just said that.
Hey, listen, man. From your lips to God's ears, it was been a chef's kiss of what I just said, man. I can't believe I gotta
That
give
is
myself.
the
I gotta give
that is
myself a
the
pat on the
most
back.
disgusting thing I have ever heard.
I
Are you
disgust
kidding me? Are you
disgusting is
kidding me?
disgusting is very a harsh word. I view it as disgusting.
Okay. So I'm gonna say this one time, okay? And I really need our viewers to like really listen. Our 25 viewers.
I don't care, bro. Viewers are viewers, man.
Yeah, I mean on YouTube, we got
On
more than
YouTube,
that.
I'll
But
take it.
but
It's all
hey,
good.
Triple H will never ever hit WrestleMania 40 peak ever again, ever. And it gives me no pleasure to say that.
I
Okay,
understand.
it gives me no pleasure to say what I'm about to say. We need Vince back.
Whoa. And you know
We
what?
need Vince back.
You want to bring back Vince? Okay, let me hear it.
And a lot of people are gonna, talk about, oh no, Vince was toxic and he did this and he did that and listen. Vince was the devil I know. And
It's
one
better.
thing about the devil that you expect bullshit from them. But at the very least, they're man enough or woman enough to admit they're pieces of shit.
It's better
Okay?
to be on the devil's right hand than in his path.
And right now, with the way the company has gone ever since WrestleMania 40, it has nosedived creatively.
Okay.
Okay? Nothing, and I mean nothing that Triple H has done ever since he acquired. And can we just relax for 1 second? The whole tribal chief thing was not a Triple H creation.
I'm glad you said that. That was a Vince thing.
Okay?
Was
That was a
that was
Vince thing.
yeah.
Vince pulled the plug on that. So
Yeah.
let's just call it what it is.
That's
Okay.
wait, to our viewers, that's very, very true. Because the tribal chief started in COVID and Vince
COVID.
was
2019.
19 and Vince was running
2019.
things. Yes. Because
So
remember,
let's not right. Right. Let's not get it twisted. Triple
twisted,
H does
yeah.
not get credit for tribal chief, the OTC. He does not get credit for that. That's number one. The WWE hit a peak during COVID, and that was because of Roman Reigns and the OTC. Okay.
The
Some of
bloodline.
the best creative work was done during COVID.
Yes.
Let's just call it what it is. Drew McIntyre was on a high. Roman was on a high.
Bailey.
Bailey, Becky Lynch, Bianca, Io. You got Rhea,
Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar,
Bobby Lashley, Brock Lesnar.
Seth Rollins when he was the Monday Night Messiah, which is one of the most underrated characters ever.
My thing is this: there was no shortage of superstars during Vince's last run. 2019 to that window was truly, I believe, one of the greatest work Vince had ever put on creatively.
Since the Ruthless Aggression era.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. So we got to give credit where it's due, and we got to realize something here. It gives me no pleasure to say this, but that moment, that WrestleMania 40 moment, was not a Triple H creation. It was
How
not.
so? How so? Explain that. I don't get that.
Triple H is like Tony Dungy. I'm sorry, no. It's more like John Gruden, or for lack of a better term, more like Steve Kerr.
Okay, let me.
Think about it.
I gotta hear this.
Think about it this way. Triple H, right, was there when all the creative was happening with Roman, when all the creative was happening with Kevin Owens, with the Bloodline, with everybody, right, from 2019 to 2022, right? When Cody came back, Vince was there. Vince was the one that orchestrated
That deal.
move,
Yeah.
right? When Punk came back, Vince was there. He was the one that orchestrated.
No, that was Triple H. That was Triple H.
Vince wasn't
That was
there.
Triple H.
Vince wasn't
No,
there.
no. You're talking when Punk
When Punk came
returned,
back?
right? That was Triple H. That wasn't Punk. I mean, that wasn't Vince. That was Triple H.
Vince wasn't there. Vince
No.
wasn't there when did Punk return?
Punk returned in 23.
Okay, yeah, right. The timeline, right? Triple H took over
Yes.
in July of
2020.
2020.
Yes.
Right, 2022. Okay,
That
got
was
it,
Triple
got it,
H.
got it.
Yes.
Okay. But I think I got confused because I heard Punk talk about Vince and seeing him and interacting with him, and you know, he talked about their relationship. So that's why I thought that Vince was still part of the company. But
Yes, it's
I
okay.
stand corrected. Needless to say, Vince orchestrated Cody's return.
Yes, that is true.
So the plan was always for Cody to go over in WrestleMania 40, finish the story, right? Right? Finish the story and all that stuff. So this creative notion, or this notion that Triple H somehow, right, got Cody back in, and then put Cody against Roman Reigns, and then had Cody go over. That was always the plan. That was always the plan. Triple H just took over the blueprint, right, and saw it to its fruition.
You're saying based on people who doesn't understand this is based on basketball terms. If you're a fan of the NBA, Vince McMahon was Mark Jackson of the Warriors, while Triple H was Steve Kerr, and took that shit over.
He correct. And the thing is, and you know what? It's disrespectful to Steve Kerr to say that Triple H is Steve Kerr. Disrespectful. Because nothing that Triple H has done ever since he took over, literally, when he took over WrestleMania 40, when he finally took over, when he finally got the reins, and Cody finished the story, and it was a happy ending. What the fuck has he done since then? I'll wait.
After WrestleMania 40.
After WrestleMania 40, what the fuck has he done?
So what Triple H did after WrestleMania 40?
And I don't want to hear this bullshit about how he brought in money and all that shit. That's his fucking job. I'm talking about creative.
Creatively, he brought in other superstars.
Who?
He brought in Jade Cargill, became a great woman, a very good, solid women's champion. She is, bro. Even you wanted her to win.
You sit there with a straight face and
I'm answering your question.
Come on, bro.
I'm answering your question.
Okay.
I'm answering your question. He tried to elevate the tag team division for a short time, and which he did in terms of what was happening on SmackDown. That shit was money. He brought in after WrestleMania 40, he elevated Gunther in the Intercontinental Championship, and he brought back CM Punk. He brought back a returning Randy Orton, just to name a few.
Bruh, what the fuck has he done creatively? You're telling me what he did and who he brought in and all that stuff. Bro, those guys, if you look at where CM Punk was when he came back to where he is now, right, during the Triple H era, has he gotten better? I don't see it.
What about the Vision?
Yeah, Ricardo. What about the Vision? Go ahead.
That was based off basically what happened with the Vision. That was actually a good faction, but only because Seth Rollins' injury.
So
that derailed everything. Injuries happen.
No. Okay. So let's not get it twisted. The Vision, when Seth Rollins was there, wasn't visioning, bro. Okay. Let's not let's not lie to ourselves now, right? And talk about how the Vision was there, bro. Ain't nobody give a fuck about the Vision. Nobody cared. The only thing that we cared about was that cash-in that Seth Rollins had. I'll give Triple H credit for that. That cash-in that he had on CM Punk. Money. That's the only thing that I've ever seen in this Triple H regime, creative-wise, where
after
thought,
40.
wow,
After 40.
WrestleMania 40, creative-wise, that I thought cinema. And that cash-in never topped the peak that we experienced at WrestleMania 40.
Yeah, WrestleMania 40 was legendary. Yeah.
So what I'm telling you is that Triple H already plateaued.
Okay. Do you believe Vince?
We have seen his peak already. Vince had many peaks.
Do you believe Vince? Do you believe if you switch Vince with Triple H this year, only this year, is WWE better or worse?
Better, because I think Vince knows how to book Cena.
I completely agree with that.
Vince knows exactly what to do to make Cena look the part, you know. And like you said, Vince is your top 5 heels all time.
Yes. Do you believe?
Who else? Who better to work with him? With Cena.
Do you also believe, because since you brought up Vince, do you believe that Vince would have done a good job, not just with John Cena, but with the other talent within the WWE?
Absolutely. What 2019 to 2022 showed you was that. It was that. You know, you had a huge, everybody ate. There was no one on the roster that went hungry from 2019 to 2022 under Vince. You didn't see it. We mentioned like 10, 11, 12 people. Right now, we can't go that deep. The roster doesn't go that deep.
Yeah.
Pause. The
Yeah.
roster doesn't go that deep.
Right.
You don't have depth on the roster. Vince had depth on his roster.
Well, I definitely agree with that take in terms of the way how Vince would orchestrate the year of 2025, because like as an Attitude Era fan and you're a Ruthless Aggression Era fan, you and I both know with the remnants of past history, because history shows that he's done great jobs with specific divisions. If that was Vince running the tag team division, that TLC match they had on SmackDown, that even Vince will put that shit
It's
at
on
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania.
It's
on
at
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
No question.
No, absolutely.
He would actually, and this is like a personal thing for me. Me being biased, I think you would agree with this. He knows how to elevate black talent better than Triple H. Tenfold. Tenfold. Yeah.
Which is another thing. Like minority talent, like we don't really see anything, man. Like
yeah, I agree.
it's like, what are we in the fucking seven?
Yeah, and the thing is, and another thing is, outside of John Cena, because he knows that would be his moneymaker, and obviously his second moneymaker would be Roman Reigns due to the Tribal Chief, and a distant third will be Cody Rhodes, and to some degree CM Punk. Vince would actually focus on all divisions individually and systemically, even if it's just a group.
So Ricardo.
Yes,
I'm
yeah.
gonna cut you off here because
No, I was finished.
nah. We don't need your help over here. Okay.
I don't want. No.
You picked Triple H,
I
so
did.
I don't need you glazing our side. Okay.
No.
We don't need that. Stay over there. Okay. I don't need you defending. I don't need you defending.
Wait. No. Tom. This is what you're not going to do. This is not what you're going to do. First of all, the only thing that's above your side is a white wall, that pillow behind your neck, and the bathroom in the right corner. There's nothing.
Where's the bathroom? There's no bathroom in the
you're well, either that door left on your left, I can see right behind you. I don't care what door that is. Right.
This door.
So that's
this door right here.
Yeah, this door right here. That door right there, whatever it is. That's the only. Yeah,
that's my guest room, actually.
Nigga, I don't care. But the fact of the matter is, like, in terms of Triple H, yes, he's a genius. Yes, I can't give him full credit what he did this year, right? But based on his past history, based on what July 2022 till now, right? He has more pros than cons. Or no question, right? He has more pros than cons from where he started to what he has right now.
And that's what you call a genius. That's what you call a genius, because he has more pros than cons.
Do you not give him credit what he did from 2022 to 2025?
What he did in 2022, like I said, to me, WrestleMania 40 is not a Triple H creation.
Really? You don't give credit to Triple H?
To me, it's not a Triple H creation, because the blueprint has already been drawn. The blueprint for WrestleMania 40 was already drawn. All he had to do was not fuck it up. And then everything after WrestleMania, like, think about it. Is it really a coincidence that we have never gotten anything remotely close to the high that we felt on WrestleMania 40? After WrestleMania 40? Think about that for a second.
Okay.
It's been fucking almost damn near 3 years, and we have never sniffed. We have never sniffed anything remotely close to that high. Why is that? Who is the common denominator in this? We got to think about that for a second and realize that when we're talking about the blueprint that has already been set, he didn't need to do anything for WrestleMania 40. All he needed to do was execute. That's it.
So you personally believe that Vince had everything written down to a T in terms of the Tribal Chief, the bloodline, this?
Bro, do you know?
I don't know about that.
Oh, really? Okay, Ricardo. How about this? And see, this is exactly where I got you. GG, game over. Do you know that they already knew what the WrestleMania main event was going to be after WrestleMania 41?
41.
WrestleMania 42? Did you know that?
It was 41, 42, not 42.
I understand that. But in WrestleMania 41, did you know that they already
I knew that. I was the one that posted.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So to your point, it's not. So you just admitted that they already had plans at WrestleMania 41 for WrestleMania 42. They knew.
No. You got it the other way around. No, wait, bro. You got it the other way around.
Ricardo,
No.
I didn't stutter. Okay. At WrestleMania 41, like, for instance, think about it for a second. This year, what's WrestleMania this year?
We just passed 41, about to hit 42.
Okay. When we get to WrestleMania 42 and you ask Triple H, right, behind closed doors, hey, who do you guys have planned for the main event of WrestleMania 43? Do you know that he knows who's going to be?
Bro, what I'm talking about, what I'm
Do
based,
you,
no, hold on. Based on what you're saying, what I'm saying is, I feel like you got it confused, because like I made a video back then in terms of the card, there was supposed card that was supposed to be WrestleMania 41. You're saying he already had the plans for 42. I'm saying it's the reverse. That's what I'm saying.
how's it
Based on
the
what you're saying.
reverse? How's it the
No,
reverse?
because Triple H already had plans for 41 originally, and before he changed it, right?
Yeah, and that's why it sucked.
And right,
That's
but
why it
that's what.
sucked. And that's what I'm saying. Okay, at WrestleMania 40, they already knew the plans for WrestleMania 41.
Yes.
For WrestleMania 41, they already know the plans for WrestleMania 42. And so on and so forth. Okay? That's how this business works. We know this. We know this. So why the hell would we sit here and lie and act like we don't know? We do. They do know. They plan this shit. Okay? So my main point is this. Okay? If they already knew the plans for WrestleMania, like if they already knew the plans for future WrestleManias in the current day, then it's not crazy to say that at WrestleMania 39, right? At WrestleMania 39, they knew exactly what they wanted to do for WrestleMania 40.
So you're saying, based off 2 years, based off Vince's plans, Triple H had it since and just
Yes.
copied it and just excelled it, like a carbon copy, and put like freaking like steroids on it.
You got to realize something, man. The Vince abruptly got fired, got bought out from the company from under him, like a hostile takeover. So, well, not like a hostile takeover, but essentially
yeah.
that's what
I
it
get what
was.
you're
Like
saying.
he was supposed
I
to
get
sell
what
the
you're
company,
saying.
right?
Yes.
So yeah, like if you're saying, oh yeah, Vince, had plans to retire, and okay, then you'd have a point. But yeah, the plans were already in, because think about it, how Cody lost at 39. Think about that for a second. It was reminiscent of how John Cena lost to The Rock, right?
Yes.
Right? And then the
Yes.
following year, what happened? See,
Cody
in
wins.
that scenario, they already knew their main event for the next year as well. When Cena lost to The Rock, they knew that the next year, guess who's going to headline? Cena and The Rock. They knew. They knew that. So history repeats itself in this case. And with Cody and Roman, I am not giving any credit to Triple H for that. None. Because what he's done after WrestleMania 40 proves my point. He's got nothing. Absolutely nothing.
That's interesting. So, since the fact that Triple H got nothing, and you don't give him credit in terms of what he did, in regards to WrestleMania 40, because that's all Vince is doing, which is that what you're saying, right? It goes into the next angle that I really want your take on, and obviously I have my own personal takes, because due to the fact that going back to John Cena, that he's going to officially retire on December 13th, in which the people that are watching this man Kenny right here is the biggest John Cena fan I know. He's by far, hands down, and the biggest Randy Orton fan I know, right? The greatest heel and the greatest face in WWE history in his eyes.
Okay.
The real question is, since John Cena is going to officially retire and WWE is on the very verge of having 1 week left of having John Cena, and John Cena's the true last megastar of a generation, how worried WWE should be, and what should be their next move after John Cena?
So I think they should be very worried, just by the virtue of the fact that they're not selling out any arenas they go to anymore. And you can point,
Yeah.
people will be very quick to say, oh yeah, it's the pricing, it's all of that stuff. Well, it's a little bit of both. Okay.
Yes.
Because here's the thing. If this was the greatest, right, wrestling creative wise.
Yes,
that
creative,
we have
yes.
gotten, right? If it was, people will find a way to make it to those shows. But you have to realize, right, that it's not the creative wrestling that we've gotten. It's actually one of the worst ones, since one of the Vince eras, right? Like pre-COVID time, right? It's actually one of the worst ones, one of the worst wrestling eras we've ever gone through. So coupled with the fact that there's no real draw outside of Cena and Roman, there's no real draw. There is no real draw. I can't sit here definitively and tell you that if Cody headlines, B-rated pay-per-view, that
And it will sell out, right?
I cannot definitively we tell you that, and that's a
Yeah.
problem, right? Because
Yeah.
essentially what you're telling us, and this goes back to the Cody thing, and we've talked
We,
about him in length on the
yes.
show, is that Cody, he's a bridge guy, right?
Yeah.
He's something that you call a bridge guy. Like, he's not going to be there for a long time. He said it himself. Like, my next contract is most likely going to be my last, right? This is not
Right.
a 15-year plan. This is not a 10-year plan.
It's a
More like a
short-term
3,
plan.
4, 5-year plan, right?
Yeah.
So you have to look at it in that sense. And one of the things that I love about John Cena and what he said, I was actually watching him on Joe Rogan,
I gotta,
earlier
I
today.
gotta, I gotta check that out. I didn't know he go to Joe Rogan.
Great interview, man. Great interview. You guys should check it out. He said something that's so interesting. He said the WWE has probably like every period. They maybe have like maybe a couple periods a year where they recruit about 200 people, right? And of those 200 people, maybe 10 make it through, right? Like they actively recruit 200 people,
Yes.
and
Yes.
then of those 200 people, 10 make it through, right? And this cycle is like a rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat, right? And of those 10, maybe, just maybe one makes it through if they're lucky. In most cases, none make it through. So over the course of a year, right, you're talking about thousands of people being recruited, right? Going through these recruitment processes, trying to get into the WWE, and if there were 6,000 people that actively get recruited a year, maybe you'd be lucky to find one person that makes it through.
Yeah. I
Bring
actually.
this up
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
bring this up because it's very, very important for us to notice something here. There will never be another John Cena.
We agree. Yes.
And no matter who they find, Cena is truly the last of that old, generation that will kind of bridge the gap between pop culture and wrestling, right? Like,
Yes.
he's the last one of them. I truly don't see any other superstar bridging that gap. And that's why they should be very, very concerned, because you need young people to be engaged in wrestling in order
Yes.
for you to be able to be profitable long term, right? If millennials don't bring their kids if people our age don't bring their kids to those shows, right? Their kids will never become fans, right? So I think it's very, very important to have crossover, larger than life characters that transcend wrestling, right?
Yes.
That can fit any literally any industry and be able to be relatable. And I think they'll have that issue moving forward.
Well, usually based off something that we usually debate on this show. Obviously, it's in past, but this is where we actually completely agree because there's no way around it. Because you see, the thing is, I want to get deeper. I'm just gonna add on to what you said because I want, and plus I have my notes here. Like, I want to get deeper to what you said. The fact that what you just said, that really what you said, that means a lot to me. It was that Cena's the last megastar that they have based off the past era. John Cena is the last remaining remnant. Similar how The Undertaker was the last remaining remnant of the Attitude Era, Cena is the last remaining remnant of the Ruthless Aggression Era. Once Cena goes, Orton will go. Lesnar will go. Guys like that. John Cena is the final wrestler that actually brought a global household name to the brand. The one before that, in terms of selling ticket sales from start to finish, it was actually Austin.
Yeah.
Right? It was actually Austin. Based on you brought up a storytelling perspective. The story based, since Cena will be gone, the ratings, the stories, the big matches, the quote unquote legendary moments will take a nosedive based on how when Cena will leave. Another thing is that, like, you brought up the name Cody Rhodes. WWE themselves try to bring up these names that I'm about to mention in a way that they could be arguably quote unquote the next face. You brought up Cody Rhodes. I bring up Seth Rollins. I bring up Drew McIntyre. I bring up LA Knight. I bring up Jey Uso. To some degree, a lesser version of Randy Orton, like up and down with him. But the fact of the matter is, none of those guys bring the mainstream appeal, the corporate friendly image, the longevity, the PG connection that he got with the kids, which is a big deal, by the way, right? And the live action drawing power that he brings, that neither of those guys that I mentioned bring to the table that Cena does, right? And this is something that you didn't bring up, but I think you would automatically agree with what I'm about to say. With John Cena retiring, it brings up another problem that WWE relies on too much over the years, which is an aging star problem. John Cena is 48, 49 years old.
Mm-hmm.
CM Punk is 48. Orton is in his 40s. Lesnar is in his 40s. Rey Mysterio is 50. AJ Styles, he said he's going to retire next year. You have aging superstars that you continuously rely on, and WWE is having a hard time finding the next superstar within the next 10 years to fit the next generation based on what you just said, right? And another thing what you said is that the casual fans will take a liking elsewhere because John Cena isn't there, right? It reminds me when Austin was here, when that famous thing what he did back in 2002, 2003, he took his ball and go home. And WWE took a nosedive in the ratings based on that ever since he bounced. Like you remember when it was the Attitude Era, they were getting ratings for like 7, 8, 9, at times 10, just because of Austin. And similar to Cena, their ratings with the ratings, it was way up there. Just by Cena going up there, it was like either a 3 or 4, one to the Blue Moon 5. But with Cena leaving, systemically, chances of getting a 2.0 or less is likely higher to happen because they don't have a box office attraction that would sell out the entire city or stadium.
It's already happened.
Yes, it's already happened, but not to a degree where you have a full calendar year.
Oh yeah. Well,
No, no, not a full calendar year.
well,
I'm talking when Cena's
sure.
not
I
there.
mean,
Cena's not there.
okay.
Period. Period. And that's all I'm saying.
I mean, he hasn't been active for. I mean, prior to this year, he hasn't been that active. Probably 1 or 2 appearances a year. But yeah, I mean, now that he's retiring, I think there's a lot
Yeah.
of fans, much like us, that grew up watching him
Yeah.
would feel like we're already disillusioned. Disillusioned. About the product,
Hmm.
but him leaving doesn't really help that case either, right? It doesn't.
It doesn't.
We're not optimistic about the product even when he was here, right? But all of us are just sticking around for when he leaves, right? Because once he
Yeah.
leaves, to your point,
The
GG's
fans
from
might
there, right? Like,
the fans might go.
yeah, I mean,
Honestly. Like because like
yeah.
WWE is gonna have a hard time creating new icons rather than just main eventers. Because
Well, here's the thing, Ricardo. I think this conversation is worth having at the very least while we're on this topic, right?
mhm,
And you brought up Icon, right?
yeah.
Is that really necessary for them to have icons in this next upcoming era? Like, let's look at it realistically, right? Having an icon literally chokeholds the company, right? Like,
Does it though?
you're forced, yes, because you're forced to build around him, right? Or her,
Hmm.
right? But you're forced to build around the icon, right? As he or she goes, your company goes. If they get injured, well, the product sucks because everything revolves around them, right? And that's what I love about Vince's model, right?
Hmm.
His business model was everyone. I mean, we treat our superstars great, but everyone, for lack of a better term, gets treated more or less the same, right? When Austin, right, and this was, Cena said this on the podcast with Simmons. He said he was there when Austin got fired, and what Vince told him and the rest of the crew was, hey, listen, he has to know he cannot do this. And he was talking about Austin, right?
Yeah,
Vince was
yeah,
saying
yeah.
Austin has to know that he can't do this. And we have to send a message, right, to the whole world that we do not condone this type of behavior. And that's what happened. Vince fired him that same day, right? And the notion was, oh, wait a minute. If he can do that to his cash cow, right? If Vince can fire Austin, then who the fuck am I, right? And what I love about that, like Vince's model, was that he stood 10 toes down on business, right?
Yes. Yes.
We don't have that anymore, right? We don't have that anymore, right? Like Rey Mysterio, Cena, Batista, Orton, Taker, right?
Hmm.
Eddie, Kurt Angle, Edge. I
Yeah.
mean, the list goes on and on and on. All of these guys, right? I just named you 8 guys. 8 guys. And there were more. I just named you 8 guys that were main eventers. And I'm not talking, Ricardo, I'm not talking
Yes,
about,
yes.
I'm not talking about like run of the mill,
Yeah.
like barely main eventer. Like
We're talking
mid
about franchise
upper card.
players.
No. Right. I'm talking about these motherfuckers.
Franchise.
You can build a promotion around them and
Yeah.
get asses in seats for years.
So why Vince made all those icons? Why can't Triple H do it here?
Exactly. See, Ricardo, when we talk about Triple H and his ineptitude, right? These are exactly the type of questions that you should have, right? And since you came to his defense and say he does more good things than bad, right? These are the
To
type
my
of questions
to my
that you should have an answer for, right?
well,
Right? And
you see the thing
if we
is,
can go 8 deep, pause. If we could go
pals.
8 deep, 8 deep, 8 fucking stars deep in a Vince McMahon era, right? Why the fuck are we getting two, barely two? The only legit main eventers right now active, I don't count Brock.
Okay.
Brock is a special attraction. I don't. He belongs in a class by himself. Okay, I don't count him. The only two legit main eventers right now, legit, and I'm talking sold out crowd. Actually, three: Cena, OTC, Punk. That's it. One is in remission. The other one's about to retire, and the other one looks like a beat up old rag doll. And I'm talking about Punk.
Yes, I know.
So let's think about this for a second, right? And truly realize how much of a huge issue, right? And we both agree about this.
Yeah, we
How
do.
much of a real issue this is. The fact that we can sit here and name you 8 stars, literally from the Vince McMahon era, right? That could be in any promotion at any given time in any era and kill that shit. And we can barely
Name 5. Yeah.
Actually, now that I think about it, Triple H doesn't have a legitimate star in his era. The era that he's built, the era that he's cultivated, who is that main event star? Who? That sells tickets, sold out crowd, pulls arenas. Who is it?
As right now, it's nobody because due to the fact that of what's the current roster, he's what he's missing is a severe.
I rest
lack.
my case.
No, I feel you.
Rest my case.
Yes.
I rest my case. See, this is it. This is it. No stars, right? Zero, none. It's been
He has a
3
lack
years,
of
bro.
depth. Yeah.
It's been 3 years. No, Ricardo, fuck the lack of depth, bro. In order for you to have depth, right? You need to have like real talent to surround that depth with. Your depth means nothing if you don't have at least 1 or 2 top guys. Your depth means nothing because all you have is just a bunch of role players. Imagine the Lakers without Luka and LeBron and AR. They got depth. Y'all got depth, but imagine the Lakers without them. What they got?
They're a lottery team.
Exactly. Now add AR, LeBron, and Luka. What they got? They got depth, right?
They got depth and they're
Right?
a playoff team.
Right?
Yeah.
And now they got depth, right? Because what?
Yeah.
You got legit stars on top, right? And then you got motherfuckers that can contribute, right?
Yeah.
But if all you have is contributors, right? And you don't have anybody like the Triple H era, all you have is a bunch of role players, a bunch of contributors. Cody can't fucking fill an arena. That's a problem. Your top guy can't fill an arena. Your top guy has record setting lows on the USA Network, their home network.
Yeah,
When everything fails, when the Netflix deal fails, when the Netflix deal goes belly up, which it will, when the ESPN deal goes belly up, which it will,
it is
they'll
now.
go back to the USA Network.
Do you
Go
think?
back to the USA Network.
Okay, so do you think? I think we could both. I'm not gonna say think. I know we can agree that because obviously they're gonna struggle severely, arguably after Cena retires, because you brought up Vince one more time. So if I bring up Vince and you pair him with Cody Rhodes, because we do agree that he was the one that brought back Cody Rhodes into WWE. It wasn't Triple H. It was definitely Vince. We both know that. You believe Vince makes Cody a much more bigger main event star than Triple H? Because I think he does. I think he could with the right concept.
Yes. Because I think Vince understand what we have to give Vince credit for is just understanding like how the business works
Yes.
and also timing. His timing is impeccable.
Yeah.
Like,
Because in terms,
you know how hard it is to create 8 stars simultaneously too, right? Like all these guys, with the exception of the Undertaker, right? Because
Yeah.
he was in the
he
Attitude.
was already a main star. Yeah.
Like Ricardo, think about what he did. let's really think about it for a second, bro. Brock, Batista, Cena,
Mysterio.
Orton,
Yeah.
Mysterio,
Edge.
Eddie, Edge,
Lesnar.
bro.
Yeah.
Let's all in a span, all in a span of like
3 years.
3 or 4 years.
3 to 4 years.
That's insane, bro. That like that doesn't happen. And this is not the first time he's done it,
Yeah, he did in the Attitude Era too. And that was even
bro.
bigger. Yeah.
Bro. Even before that, even before the Attitude Era, he did it.
Yeah, he did. He did it with, it was the early 90s. He did it with Brett, Shawn, Diesel, Vader, Taker in his prime, to some degree Hogan, Ultimate Warrior. Wow. So the thing is, you got 3 eras and three
Bro,
different
three
decades
eras.
and 3 decades that he was.
And let's not forget Ricardo. Let's not forget Ricardo.
Yeah,
That motherfucker, that old man was cooking.
Yeah.
He was cooking when COVID happened.
yeah. I will admit that he was, because you see the thing
He was
is,
cooking.
yeah, he it obviously it would the thing that he did better. The thing that Triple H is not doing now that he should be doing that Vince did better. It's because we're talking about that small gap era that he got left in COVID. He created new characters that Triple H is not doing today. In which I gotta admit that because he actually he resurrected, because like fans that are watching this or hearing this, I am not a fan of Bailey. I am personally not a fan of Bailey, but he made Bailey box office based off that
Yo,
heel
bro,
turn.
anyone that can make Bailey box office
If it's
deserves respect, man. Deserves
yeah,
respect.
yeah,
And look, and I know some people in the chat will probably be like, "Oh, the Bailey hate will not be tolerated," bro.
there's not hate. We're calling it spade a spade.
There are levels to this, okay?
Yeah,
And Vince working with Bailey,
killed it.
bro. If you can revive that, crazy.
Yeah, so
Yeah, man.
it goes to show you that like WWE is going to be in a lot more trouble. Is in a lot more trouble than what they bargained for, and if arguably it might take him years, struggling years, that it will take right after Cena's
See,
retirement.
they had a huge opportunity
Mm-hmm.
to put a jetpack on someone relevant, not
Yeah,
Uso.
I
But
agree.
someone
I could think of
relevant
three. I
that
could think of three names
like
that he had under.
imagine them putting a jetpack on a young talent.
Yeah.
Go out there, kid. Face Cena in his last match. Beat Cena. Household name instantly.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Instantly.
Yeah.
It's so easy. It's so easy, but they won't do it. I don't get it. But that's neither here nor there. We'll talk
Yeah.
about that later. Anyway,
Yeah. Because Triple H, just to end it right here, because Triple H protects his stars a little bit too much close to the vest, like Jey Uso, Gunther, and Cody Rhodes.
what stars?
Hey,
What stars,
no.
bro?
I'm talking about.
What
the one.
stars?
I'm talking about.
Yeah. What stars? They're not stars. They're not stars. No one knows them. No one knows them.
Amen.
At least they don't care enough to watch.
That's
no
a
one knows
better-
them.
that's
These
better.
guys are not stars.
So like in terms of WWE, I think what they should avoid just stop putting all the pressure on Roman for mainstream popularity, despite because he's a part timer. They gotta stop doing hot shot booking to chase short term ratings and everything like that. But the bottom line is they need to craft new megastars, building stories for the longevity, and crowning. I would think about what I said because I said icons. I'll take it back, but I would say create new faces of company by building more depth within the roster based on what you said and pushing the next generation with more intent of people that the fans that like they truly want to promote. Because you brought something that was really, really interesting that caught my attention because you said like taking full advantage of stars that needed to be taken advantage of to propel them to the moon. Like, not Jey Uso. We agree there because I don't give two shits about Jey Uso. But like at one point, LA Knight was a big name. At one point, there was even in the in the women's division, in the women's division, not like don't get me wrong, Naomi, congratulations on your baby of getting a baby. But if she didn't get knocked up, she was next. Right? So basically, it goes to a long story short that Cena's retirement is WWE's wake-up call that shit needs to change extremely fast, very sooner rather than later. And it's the moment Cena's retirement defines an era that will either be with great success or with great failure that Triple H will indeed have within the next 5 years. But that's it for the Wrestling Hypothesis podcast, man. Where we expose the truth. That shit was so funny. Where we expose the truth, live the hype, and expose the business to what it really is today. I love the rant that my man Kenny had. And again, he could put on that crown hat as he mimicking my man LeBron James. Shout out to you. Yeah, LeBron James, thank you. You know that as well as I do. Right? Kenny's a great fan of LeBron James, people letting you know about that, as me and him are great
That's
LeBron James fans.
crazy. That's crazy. Yo, that wow.
I'm a LeBron James fan, people, but this
That's
man's LeBron
wild,
James.
bro.
He's a LeBron James hater, as we both agree. LeBron James is not the GOAT. I'm just saying. But is it man Ricardo? Is my man Kenny signing off? Peace.